And of course, who doesn't want to save money? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about how to spend money wisely. So before I start discussing this topic, I want to put a disclaimer out there that of course however you decide to spend your money is always all on you, and nobody should tell you whether or not how you're spending money is good. But today I'm going to tell you how you can spend your money more effectively on the things that you want to spend your money on. So the first step to spending your money wisely is to make a list, and it's the most basic of steps out there. Everybody says this. If you're going to be spending money on anything, if you're going to be going on a big shopping trip, whether it's to the supermarket or to a hardware store, you need to make a list of the items that you want to buy before you get there, and also cross-check it with the items you already have at home. Because even personally, I have spent money on things that I've already had. For example, I was preparing for a community party and I was supposed to get some disposable utensils and plates and cups, and I already had some at home. I completely forgot and I went off and bought another set. So now I have a lot of disposable items. It is always very important to check so you don't waste your money on items you might not need to purchase right now. So the next thing I want to point out is to make sure that you purchase items that will last you long enough. So they're usually more expensive because, you know, good quality, but you have to figure out if it's going to last you longer or be more cost effective in the long run. For example, I sometimes buy shoes that are pretty cheap and they cost like probably $3,000 and they last me a year. And then I have bought shoes that cost me about $10,000 and or even $12,000 and they last me really long, like 5 years and counting. So now if I spend money on the shoes that cost me $3,000 every year for 5 years, I'll be spending $15,000. And if my $12,000 shoes last me more than 5 years, then obviously the $12,000 shoe is more cost effective than buying the $3,000 shoe every year. Now, of course, that depends on how much money you can spend on these items, whether it's clothing or any other item in your house or that you use daily. You have to also consider how much money you can afford to spend on it. And if you cannot afford to spend a large amount of money on the item right now, or even just to save up for the item is too difficult. But sometimes you can probably put down the money and then probably spend a year putting on money, and then at the end of the year spend on the item, and you'll have the item for years to come. So that's really an efficient way to spend your money as opposed to spending money on a new item every year. And then the next point kind of goes in hand with that, which is that you only buy items that you will actually use a lot. So what I mean by that is, if you're going to have like a one-off probably barbecue event at the back of your house and you're not a big grill fan, it wouldn't make any sense that you spend thousands of dollars on a barbecue grill that you're only going to use once. So maybe you can borrow that from a friend if you know a friend that has one, or makeshift a grill. But basically you want to consider the cost per wear of the items that you're buying. And how you consider the cost per wear is, like, if someone actually buys a barbecue grill and they're into grilling, they grill every 2 weeks. So they grill every other week in a month, and then maybe the grill lasts them 5 years. So if they're grilling every 2 weeks and they're 52 weeks in a year, then that means that they're grilling about 26 times per year. And if they're grilling for 5 years, then that's 130 times for the entire time that they have the grill. So let's say the cost of the grill is $26,000. I don't know how much grills cost, but let's say that's the cost of the grill. Then if you're using that grill, that $26,000 grill, 130 times for the entire time that you will own that grill, then that means that you're spending $200 per use every time you use that grill. So the fourth way you can spend money wisely is if you see something new, like a new item out there that they're promoting probably on Amazon or any website that you go on, or some ad that you saw on Facebook or Instagram, and you've never thought of this item before. I know that you see this item and you're like, oh, it's really cool, maybe I should get it. Pause. You should not get it right now. What you should do is, I'm not telling you not to get it ever, but what I'm saying is allow it to sit a little bit, even if it's on sale or it's just like, you know, all these flashing lights like buy now. If you really need it, you can wait. So you pause and you probably you bookmark it, or you put it in some shopping cart, and then you come back to it probably in a week or even more and see whether or not you actually needed the item that was being sold to you. Because if you really do need something that this is the first time you're seeing it, for example, if it's something that's going to be useful around the house, but you really have to pause and say, do I need this right now? And then as you go through your week, you'll realize, like, you'll remember about the spice rack, and you'll probably say, oh, it would have been useful here, or it would have been useful there. But at least you'll see multiple purposes of it in your daily life, which is basically the same thing for like I said previously, but this is considering a new item that you've never thought of before. Like, you don't even have a purpose for it right now. Make sure that you find a purpose for it first before buying it with some grand idea and then having it put aside and collect dust. So, because a lot of times, even I have been guilty of buying things that I thought I would use and I've never used, and then you have to find out how to give it back or give it away. And then the last thing I want to talk about is actually a two-parter, which is do not buy items on sale just because they're on sale, and sometimes wait for a sale to buy an item. Now let me explain. So the first part is saying that if your favorite store or anything is saying sale, buy now, wait, don't buy now. How about you consider, do I actually need anything from these people? Had I had in my mind to buy anything from these people? Pause, like, do I actually want to buy these 5 razors? Do I even use these razors? Are these my razors that I go to? Had I had the intention to buy these items, then I will buy it on sale. But do not buy it just because an item is on sale, because a lot of times that's how money is wasted, because sometimes the item that we buy on sale, we don't even actually use all of them or one of them, or sometimes like we get too many of them. So you really need to be mindful, because these sale signs will catch you. And then the next thing now is, if you know that your favorite store or wherever you usually buy stuff usually goes on sale or has discounts at a certain time of year, or just a general period that's better to buy items. For example, it's actually good to buy summer items when autumn is starting, because they're trying to get rid of them, and normally there's a sale on them. So there's a sale on what's left because they're trying to change seasons. Obviously that's not for us, that's for stores abroad, but it's still, we still can have access to those kind of sales. Or even, about Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Sometimes if you can actually wait until those periods of time in the year to buy items when they're discounted and it's the same item that you would have gotten anyway, then you can wait and buy it then. As you can see, this video was not about telling you what to spend your money on, but it was more about telling you how to spend your money on the things you're already spending your money on. And of course, who doesn't want to save money? After saving all this money and spending your hard-earned cash wisely, you're going to want to know how to save it, right? Well, you can click this video right here and it will tell you how to set savings goals, because sometimes just putting down your money and not knowing why is not enough. You have to know where you're headed. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends, and leave a like or a comment, and see you guys next week Thursday at 5 p.m.